Should a divorced man be a pastor? Let's talk about that. Well, hey everybody, your friend Jason here, and today I am going to be tackling a contentious topic, a contentious question. Should divorced men be pastors? And of course, the Bible actually does have an answer for this, and it's not what a lot of people might think. So I want you to stick with me on this as we explore this topic. It's going to ruffle a few feathers, but I promise it's going to be worth it to answer this question. First up, let me just say that there is no way that I'm going to be able to fully cover this topic in just a short YouTube video, all right? I just want to give you some food for thought here is all I'm trying to do, something to chew on. And before anybody comes at me and says that, hey, you don't understand what you're talking about, or, you're just too unloving, you don't understand things, I am a divorced guy myself. My testimony, I've given that before on this channel. I didn't choose divorce, didn't want divorce. It was one of the worst things that ever happened to me. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you my whole sob story about it, but, the Lord has healed me. The Lord has blessed me, that I know what I'm talking about, okay? I know whereof I speak. And so here's the deal, right? In 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 2, it says that a pastor or a bishop, it must be the husband of one wife. Now, right away, this calls out all the so-called women pastors that are out there today, okay? That's just not even a thing. They're making it up. They're playing games. But as far as being the husband of one wife, I want you to notice it doesn't say two, it doesn't say three. It's not a revolving door of X's, okay? It's just one. And I think there's a reason for this. Now, a lot of folks are going to look at this and say, oh, well, Jason, that just means one at a time. Really? Really? Are you telling me that God is okay with a revolving door of X's? Does he want to see a marriage highlight reel of divorces and do-overs? I don't buy it, guys. I don't think so. See, marriage is sacred to God, and this rule is not some loophole for divorce and remarriage in the sense that most people take it in. So why is God so strict about this topic? Well, let's break it down. Okay, first of all, divorce is not just a piece of paper. Okay, divorce is a wrecking ball. It destroys families. It hurts the people that are involved. It hurts children. In many cases, it leads more than one person away from God, away from Christ. And the fallout of a divorce is just absolutely massive. And of course, the world's going to pretend that's not the case. They're going to tell you that divorce is wonderful. It's all about finding yourself and doing good. And they'll find ways to twist it and make it so it sounds righteous and holy, but it is just not. Okay, it's not. And really, I want you to understand there are really two kinds of divorces, okay? There's the ones who chase it and the ones who are blindsided by it. So first, the chasers. Okay, look, I'm not here to play nice. Most people who go for divorce nowadays are selfish. They're unforgiving. They frequently run around making claims of unsubstantiated claims of abuse of some sort. Okay, they just don't want to try anymore. They get all focused on their selfish desires. They refuse to forgive. And that is, of course, the very antithesis of biblical Christianity. Okay, so that's not right. But here's where it hits the role of the pastor specifically. So a guy who pursues divorce, all right, he's already shown that he's going to ditch commitments when things get tough. All right, when he gets selfish. If a man will dump his wife and trade her in for the church secretary, maybe, as a lot of guys do, he's got no problem ignoring God's word. He's already shown that. All right, so what's stopping him from dumping God? I mean, he already has. What's stopping him from dumping God's people? Okay, he'll do it. These guys are wolves, okay? They are not shepherds. They are not to be trusted. All right, now, so what about the guys who don't want divorce? All right. Now, listen, I'm not saying that these guys aren't sinners like everyone else, okay? And maybe he doesn't always make the best decisions, but he's been faithful to God, he's been faithful to his marriage, and his wife bails and leaves him crushed. So what about these guys? I've been there, okay? The pain is brutal. It does hurt. Even years later, it still lingers around. It's an old wound that flares up from time to time. And that hurt that we go through is a liability when it comes to the pulpit. All right, that old wound will heal. I can promise you that if you go to God, if you trust Him, if you live for Him, that wound will heal over time. Okay, for me, it's been about 10 years, give or take. And I promise you, it does heal. However, that pain that flares up, it's going to make the person in the pulpit tempted to either turn the pulpit into a therapy couch or use it like a dating app. And neither of those, of course, is appropriate. That's not obedience to God, and it's not a win for the church. All right, so whether it's the selfish quitter, whether it's the brokenhearted victim, God's rule in Timothy is not meant, okay, listen to me, it is not meant to be cruel. It is merciful. It protects the church from train wrecks, and it protects the hurting man from himself. Now listen, if you don't meet this qualification, God is not saying that you're trash, or that you're unforgivable. What He's saying is, I've got something different for you. So let's stop griping maybe about what we can't do and start seeing the love implicit in God's guardrails like this. All right, that's all I've got for you today. Drop a comment. Let me know if this was a blessing to you. Hit that like button if it made you think a little bit, and go ahead and be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.